Paradoxes are thought-provoking concepts that challenge our understanding of logic and reality. These intriguing contradictions often appear impossible, yet they force us to rethink fundamental principles in science, philosophy, and mathematics. From the paradoxes of time travel to the nature of truth, here are 10 paradoxes that defy logic and leave us questioning what we know about the world. 1. The liar paradox. One of the most famous paradoxes, the liar paradox, arises from the statement, "This statement is false." If the statement is true, then it must be false, but if it is false, then it must be true. This creates a loop with no resolution, challenging our understanding of truth and falsity. 2. The barber paradox. The barber paradox, proposed by Bertrand Russell, involves a barber who shaves everyone in town who does not shave themselves and only those people. The paradox occurs when we ask, who shaves the barber? If the barber shaves himself, he cannot shave himself according to the rule, but if he does not shave himself, then he must shave himself. This creates an unsolvable contradiction. 3. Zeno's paradoxes. Zeno's paradoxes, particularly Achilles and the tortoise, challenge our understanding of motion and time. In the paradox, Achilles gives the tortoise a head start in a race. Zeno argues that no matter how fast Achilles runs, he will never catch up to the tortoise because he must first reach the point where the tortoise started, by which time the tortoise will have moved a little further ahead. This creates an infinite series of steps, making it seem impossible to ever overtake the tortoise, though intuitively, we know Achilles will win. 4. The paradox of the unexpected hanging. This paradox involves a judge who tells a condemned prisoner that they will be hanged at noon on one weekday, but the execution will be a surprise. The prisoner reasons that since the hanging must be a surprise, it cannot happen on Friday, as it would be the only remaining day. By this logic, the hanging cannot happen on Thursday, Wednesday, and so on, but when the hanging does occur, it still surprises the prisoner, defying their expectations. 5. The paradox of the two envelopes. In this paradox, you are given two envelopes, each containing an unknown amount of money. One envelope contains twice as much as the other. After choosing an envelope, you are told that the other envelope could contain either twice or half the amount of your envelope. The paradox lies in the fact that no matter which envelope you pick, it seems rational to switch, leading to a never-ending cycle of switching envelopes, yet there is no actual advantage to doing so. 6. The ship of Theseus paradox. The ship of Theseus paradox questions identity and change. If every single part of a ship is replaced, one piece at a time, is it still the same ship? Furthermore, if the discarded pieces were used to build another ship, which one is the original ship of Theseus? This paradox challenges our ideas of continuity and identity. 7. The grandfather paradox. The grandfather paradox arises in the context of time travel. If a time traveler were to go back in time and kill the grandfather before the time traveler's parent is conceived, it would create a contradiction. The time traveler could never be born, so they could not have traveled back in time to commit the act, resulting in an endless loop of paradoxical situations. 8. The paradox of the ravens. The paradox of the ravens, or Hempel's paradox, questions how evidence is related to hypotheses. It begins with the statement, all ravens are black. Seeing a black raven confirms this hypothesis, but logically, seeing a green apple should also provide evidence that all non-black things are not ravens, which seems nonsensical, highlighting a strange relationship between evidence and confirmation. 9. The omnipotence paradox. This philosophical paradox questions the nature of omnipotence. It asks whether an omnipotent being could create a stone so heavy that even it could not lift it. If the being can create such a stone, then there is something it cannot do, lift the stone. But if it cannot create such a stone, then there is also something it cannot do, create the stone. This creates a paradox about the nature of absolute power. 10. The paradox of trolley problems. The trolley problem is a moral paradox that involves a runaway trolley heading toward 5 people. You can divert the trolley to a track where only one person is tied down. The paradox arises in the ethical dilemma: should you sacrifice one life to save 5? No matter what you choose, you are making a decision to harm someone, challenging the principles of utilitarianism and moral reasoning. These paradoxes serve as fascinating puzzles that stretch the limits of our logic and challenge our understanding of truth, identity, time, and morality. They remind us that our grasp of reality is not always as clear-cut as we might think, and sometimes, even the most logical systems can lead us to unexpected contradictions.